Families, caregivers, charities, and research groups across the United States observe September as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, a time to honor and remember children and families affected by this devastating disease and help rally support to give kids with cancer better outcomes. In the U.S., 15,780 children under the age of 21 are diagnosed with cancer every year. Approximately a quarter of them will not survive the disease. A diagnosis turns the lives of the entire family upside down. The objective of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month is to put a spotlight on the types of cancer that largely affect children, survivorship issues, and importantly, to help raise funds for research and family support. I have a proclamation that is signed by the mayor and all of city council members, and I'd like to ask Brittany Ross, who happens to be a childhood cancer survivor, if she would like to come and accept this proclamation. Whereas the National Cancer Institute and the American Cancer Society report cancer as the leading cause of death by disease among U.S. children between 0 and age 19. This tragic disease is newly diagnosed in over 10,270 of our country's young people under the age of 15 each and every year. Over 40,000 children undergo treatment each year, and whereas 1 in 5 of our nation's children loses his or her battle with cancer. This year alone, an estimated 1,190 cancer deaths will occur in children. Cancer is the leading cause of death by disease in children 1 to 14. And whereas 60% of infants, children, and teens who survive will suffer from the long-term effects of comprehensive treatment, including secondary cancers. And whereas we recognize the many organizations in our communities that provide services and support to this population, thereby enhancing the quality of life for these children and their families. And whereas it is important to recognize the impact of pediatric cancer on families within our community and honor the lives of children in our community whose lives have been cut short by cancer. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Mayor and the Arvada City Council hereby designate the month of September 2017 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in order to help raise awareness of pediatric cancer and its victims. And this is dated the 18th day of September 2017.
Yeah, if you go to the microphone.
I just need a copy of the presentation. How do I get this closer? So there are 12 different categories of cancer that are usually found in children ages 0 to 20. 46 children a day are diagnosed with cancer in the U.S. Enough children are diagnosed with cancer every school day to fill 2 full school classrooms. Cancer is the leading cause of death by disease for children ages 0 to 19. More children are lost to cancer in the U.S. than any other disease. In fact, more than all other childhood diseases combined. The average age of diagnosis for childhood cancer is 6 years old. The average age of diagnosis in adults is 65 years old. In the last 35 years, only 3 new drugs have been developed for children. More than 95% of childhood cancer survivors will have a significant health-related issue by the time they are 45 years old. So, as they said earlier, I am a 16-year and 8-month childhood cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with a form of leukemia more commonly found in adults than in children. It's called acute myelogenous leukemia, or also known as a blood cancer. It's only found in about 500 to 1,000 kids all over the world per year. It's extremely aggressive and extremely hard to treat. I was diagnosed at the age of 15. I was a month away from turning 16 when we got my diagnosis. I was given a 5 to 15% chance of survival and was told that I only had 3 weeks to live. I was told I wouldn't make it to 16 years old. I underwent 2 very intense and very aggressive rounds of chemo. I spent 80 days in the hospital undergoing treatment and had pretty much every side effect in the book. And obviously, as you can see, I'm happy to say on January 13th of 2018, I will happily celebrate my 33rd birthday, and 4 days later, on January 17th, I will celebrate my 17-year cancer-free anniversary, thanks to organizations like Gavin's Galaxy. So there are many different effects of childhood cancer. The first are the physical effects, and these are the ones that you can see, that are typically, there's some sign on the external patient or survivor who is undergoing treatment for their diagnosis. And those are things like heart disease, liver disease, infertility, diabetes, secondary cancers, and learning disorders. However, there are also the effects that you can't see on the outside. And as we like to say, just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. And these are effects that I myself continue to deal with 16 years later. And those are the emotional and psychological effects. Those are anxiety, fear, post-traumatic stress disorder, night terrors, stress, and especially isolation from your peers, as well as from family and other people that are involved in our lives. So the ways that you guys can help are to be informed. Don't always believe everything that you read on Facebook or social media, because the information may or may not be correct. So make sure you're informed that you're getting your information from legitimate sources that have the correct information. Contact your lawmakers. Send emails, make phone calls, whatever way works best for you, but make sure you get in touch with them. Let them know that you want to be a voice for kids that are undergoing treatment and that have been diagnosed, and those that have survived, and unfortunately those that have lost their battles. Organize a fundraiser or join one that is going on. You can donate the proceeds to any organization that specifically helps with childhood cancer of your choosing. Support research for pediatric cancer. Volunteer at your local children's hospital or other organizations. Donate to organizations that support specifically pediatric cancer, and those organizations like Gavin's Galaxy, St. Baldrick's, Cure Search, Stand Up to Cancer, and others. One thing that everybody can do is to wear gold to support childhood cancer, especially in September. The gold ribbon is the symbol of childhood cancer awareness, and that's something that everyone can do. For more information, you can go to the website for Gavin's Galaxy, which is www.gavinsgalaxy.org. You can go to facebook.com/gavinsgalaxy.org, or gavinsgalaxy.org, and you can also email them at info@gavinsgalaxy.org. There are other sources of childhood cancer, websites like the Truth 365, again, St. Baldrick's, Cure Search, and others. So I just want to say thank you to Mayor Williams and to the City Council for giving me this chance and opportunity to be able to come and share my story with you, as well as to be able to be a voice for other kids and teens and young adults who are dealing with a cancer diagnosis, as well as for survivors and for the families who unfortunately have now lost their children, and for those who are just being newly diagnosed. So thank you so much for this chance and opportunity. We really appreciate this proclamation.
And thank you for your courage and your advocacy.